It's been nearly a week since the Golden State Warriors capped off their historical season with a championship win and basically destroying the entirety of the playoffs. With the NBA draft and free agency just around the corner, there are lots of teams who have important offseasons coming up, but I want to focus on one team in particular who especially needs to make moves this summer. The Cleveland Cavaliers have a top 3 team in the NBA and have the highest payroll in the entire NBA, more than the Warriors, and most of their expensive contracts come from their role players. Some of their role players have even higher payroll than Curry. I know, and the entire NBA knows, LeBron wants to beat this team to solidify his case for GOAT somehow and take down the impossible. I think I found a way that they could do this. While Kevin Love did have a bad final game in this finals, he did manage to average a double-double, and I don't think they should get rid of him because of his rebounding ability and scoring, so I will not be talking about trading him because he is a great player and one of the reasons that the Cavaliers are so good, and I think the Cavalier fans should appreciate him more for what he does. One of the first things I think they should do is unload their most expensive contracts, and the first 2 players that come to mind are J.R. Smith and Iman Shumpert. While these 2 are good players, they are not reliable star players that will score for you on a consistent basis. Top that with the fact that J.R. Smith is already 31 and going to be 32 before September, and the fact that Iman has not improved at all since his Knicks days. There is no reason why you should be keeping these players when you could be going after a star player. Another problem for the Cleveland Cavaliers is Tristan Thompson. Now I know he is always praised for his rebounding and his hustle, but his size and scoring is not going to cut it for the Cleveland Cavaliers if they want to elevate their team. They need to get some type of paint scorer and defender in the post to beat the Warriors because they do not have Bogut anymore, and Zaza won't be able to defend the post scorer as well as Bogut would. Top that with the fact that Thompson has gotten cursed with the Kardashians. Oh God, why Tristan? He had a bad finals until his last 2 games, which didn't matter at all. He let Stephen Curry average more rebounds than him. I think it would be a good move if they unloaded his huge contract. So what happens if you unload these 3 players? You could have a lot of cap space to get someone. Well, you could try to do business with the Pelicans or the Pacers. If the Pelicans are not doing good at all during the next season and are looking to trade Cousins, they could offer them these players and a pick for a later year that could be valuable. If they did this, the Cleveland Cavaliers could get a premier scoring big man averaging 27 points per game and 11 rebounds per game. They could torch the Warriors inside and could beat them. They still need to find shooting guards, but they could do that in free agency, probably. If they can't do business with the New Orleans Pelicans, they could go the route of Indiana's Paul George, another player whose contract expires after next season. They would be looking to unload him because they know he's on the verge of leaving. The Cleveland Cavaliers could offer him the same thing that they offered the New Orleans Pelicans: J.R., Iman Tristan, and a couple picks, and Paul George. They could run Paul George at the 2 and have another premier scorer and defender to even things out with the Warriors. This would be a very nice move for the Cavaliers to add another 28-point scorer, nearly 9 rebounder, and 7 assists per game player. Again, they would be missing a center, but I'll get to that in a second. The last thing I want to touch upon is the Cleveland Cavaliers bench. Their bench was supposedly much better than the Warriors after acquiring guys like Darren Williams, Kyle Korver, and Larry Sanders, but they all played so bad in the finals, especially Darren Williams. I don't even think Korver even hit a 3 that finals. He might have hit 1 or 2, but that was it. They need to find younger players to keep up with these Warriors, and what I mean by that is athletic defenders who can stop the Warriors. They could get players like JaVale McGee, Ish Smith, or a guy like Tony Allen. Even though he's not young, he's still a very athletic, great defender. I hope the Cavaliers can do something to stop these Warriors and become much better than them and eventually somehow defeat them, and LeBron can, come into the conversation and go, even though he's sort of already in it. But this will solidify him as GOAT. And I also want to watch an entertaining finals, to be honest, and somewhat of an entertaining playoffs, even though I don't really want the Warriors and the Cavaliers to be in it every year if it's just going to be predictable. Because I fear for the NBA, and I feel that if they don't do something about this, the casuals could start leaving, and it wouldn't be fun at all to watch anymore. But yeah, that's just my opinion. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure to subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.